Hey there, and welcome to this episode of Grounded in our series. Today we're going to go over hands, wrists, and a little bit of forearm. So as always, make sure that you have freshly washed hands, that you breathe through these stretches and self-massage techniques, as well as maintaining your level of comfort. So to start, we're just going to do a little bit of stretching. So I'm going to be working on my left hand while using my right. But you can go ahead and replay the video and do that on your opposite side as well. So I'm just going to take my left arm straight out with the palm facing me, and I'm using my right hand to just push against the back side of my left hand, and that's going to give me a nice stretch in this extensor compartment here. So do a nice breath in and out, and then you can flip so that your palm is facing away from you and you can stretch that flexor compartment. And then notice what happens when you stretch using your palm or using your fingers. Do you have a different sensation in your body? Does it feel like you get a better stretch when you stretch from your fingers? Do you feel like it's actually better when you stretch from your palm? Just play around with how your body feels a little bit and do what feels good. Next, I'm going to take my right hand around my left wrist, and I'm going to pull my elbows away from each other, creating a little bit of length in this wrist here. So I'm just pulling, giving a nice little stretch. And then you can I'm going to rotate my left wrist while I'm pulling with my right hand. And that just gives a nice little twist. We have 54 bones between both of our hands, and so that means that there's lots of articulation happening, lots of potential for movement. So we want to make sure that we're just maintaining all of those little joints. There's lots of ligaments, lots of tendons. So to start our self-massage technique here, you can even do some wrist rolls and just kind of loosen up the carpals here. But then I'm going to show you just briefly on both sides how you can do a little bit of a hand massage. So this is called your thenar. And so I'm going to use my right thumb, and I'm just going to, there's a little bit of a bend, but I'm going to keep it fairly straight. And I've just got this left hand relaxed, and I'm going to push up onto this thenar here. Some of you might have what you would call like crunchies. Like there's a little bit of movement happening within the carpals and the metacarpals here. So you can do this even as a breathing meditation, a mindfulness practice where you can breathe in while you do a stroke up and breathe out while you go down. And then back. You can just coil your way, nice and simple. And then you can start going up along this ridge and then up into the phalanges here. You can try doing a little bit of the twist. And again, I'm just using the same hand that I'm working on to actually do the movement. You can do a pinching at the top of your finger. You can go down. You can do some pulling and movement of those joints. You can pinch between each of your fingers. Just taking into consideration, because we have so many bones in our hands, that there's a lot of details that happen in our hands, and that means all the more reason to create space within them to help with the movement that's occurring. Lastly, we'll go on the back side of the hand here. This part right here, if you pinch it, you'll notice that there's a little bit of a sensation. Some people might find that as relief. For some of you, you may have pinched to a point where your body says, hey, back off. Just pay attention to your body, tune in, and kind of notice what feels good, and do that. So same thing, just going up in between each of these metacarpals here. And then on this side here, just like your thenar, you've got your hypothenar eminence, and you can do a nice movement up. You can also take a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball and put that up against a surface and use gravity to push on top of it so that you can nicely massage around the palm of your hand. So depending upon how much your hands are asking for attention, depends upon how deeply you want to go or how long you want to work on your hand massage here. But you can just end again with a nice stretch of both your flexor and extensor compartments. And lastly, spread your fingers out nice and wide. This week, I was reminded that when the world doesn't make space for me, that I can make space for myself. So starfish pose, doing lots of opening movements, nice deep breaths, but even with our hands, as a good reminder, keep space within your fingers, make space for yourself. So that's our simple practice today. I hope you've enjoyed it and I hope you found some relief. Keep hanging in there, and episode 6 will be after this one. Thanks so much.